this is the second way that I use to play MIDI guitar. And I'm using this with my Godin, my Multi-Act ACS. And you'll notice that they call it ACS because it's synthesizer access. It's a 15-pin MIDI cable. It's not your standard, your 5-pin MIDI cable. It's a special MIDI cable. It plugs into like Roland, the synthesizers and guitar synthesizers and whatnot. But in this case, I'm plugging it into another device that is another synthesizer, but I don't want to use actually that synthesizer. I want to use my Integra 7. So I have a cable here, plug that in to it. See, this is my MIDI cable for my GK access cable for my Godin guitar, and what it does is it plugs into this, which is a Boss. It's an SY-1000. This is actually a guitar synthesizer. And what I like about it is that you can change lots of parameters and to change the tracking on it. And it took a little bit of fiddling around with this, but the tracking is really good on this. And it does create some really cool sounds. But I can use those later on. I can use the outputs from this device and create some really cool sounds. But I want to trigger my synthesizer, my Integra 7 synthesizer. So you notice that this thing has a MIDI in and a MIDI out. So this one uses the MIDI out because I want to connect this to my Integra, but I want freedom to change patches whenever I can. And I use another device to do it. This actually just does the conversion from my guitar signal to MIDI. And once that happens, then I use my other MIDI devices to change patches and whatever. So this is what I use. There are some settings. I'll probably put something online with a listing of the settings that I use that work really well. Now, what I do is I plug that SY-1000 into this. This is my FCB 1010 MIDI pedal from Behringer, and it's all programmable. You can change MIDI channels, you can change patches, you can also change control change messages, you could send program change messages, whatever. But I use my MIDI in, which is this one, that my previous one, that SY-1000 synthesizer plugs in. So I use that, but then I have an output here, because what I want to do is I want to use the MIDI coming in from that SY-1000, and I also want to use the MIDI signals on this pedal to control my Integra 7 synthesizer, and that's what this output is for. So I can make changes of patches and everything, and so that's pretty much it. The MIDI out of this FCB 1000 goes to the MIDI in of the Roland that Integra 7 synthesizer, and it creates some I can change patches on the fly while I'm playing my guitar and all that. And there are lots of uses that are pretty handy that you can leverage to do things while you're performing live. And that's what I wanted to do. I want this whole thing to be live. Whenever I do like changes of MIDI and try to change patches in the middle of a song. Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville song, that while I was playing that, I used that FCB 1010 to change the patches that I was using in my Integra 7 synthesizer. After a little tweaking with that SY1000, it turned out to be really, really useful. And so whenever I go play live gigs, I will bring this with me, and so I can have the ability to use different sounds and try to enhance the listening experience for the viewer slash listener. Anyway, that's pretty much how I hook my MIDI system up. If you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.